Alright, we are live. Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are going to be finishing our Caverns D100 table. Paula looks like she's going to be starting this new dwarf that she had to cut off the base that she glued it to because of this cape issue.
You know, look, okay, so here's what I
Show him in a minute,
did.
show him in a minute.
Okay,
I got a lot of stuff.
Fine. Hold on, please.
So, we're going to be finishing the Caverns table. Also tonight, I am going to talk about some of the upcoming videos on the channel. There's a few things that I'm going to be doing probably over the course of this weekend. There's going to be a dump of videos. Not all at once, probably over a couple days. We'll have a couple videos. But Friday we'll probably have a couple Pathfinder 2nd Edition videos, including an unboxing and stuff. And then we'll have stuff over the weekend. But I will mention more about that a little bit later in the stream once we finish the table. Now, Paula, what are you finishing or painting today? What are you starting? Tom, welcome to the chat. Got some interesting stuff to mention about our Black Rock Adventures campaign as well at some point tonight that I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I don't know
good stuff.
what I'm going to paint or what I'm going to start. Here are some
I love that guy.
possibilities. There's this guy with the giant horns.
He's like a tiefling, druid, ranger or something.
I'm not really sure. Yeah, maybe like
That's
a
cool
really
bow.
aggressive satyr or something.
Could be a demon.
Maybe.
I mean, I like the
knows?
idea. Yeah,
There's
like
a lot of options.
I like the idea.
We've
of a
got
druid or something.
this monk who looks pretty cool.
Oh, I like the other one.
She's
a little
like
more.
flying high. Oh, you like this one?
I love this one. So this one to me
this
would be
one-
like perfect for Nicole's character.
This one is
You
like
can't get a
a
gauge
monk
on the
who's
height?
like crouched down. Yeah, that is true.
So it's perfect to me.
Yeah, it would make it easy, and I think actually this pops off too, which is kind of nice.
Right.
We'll worry about getting that back on later.
You've taken it off a few times.
I know. I'll figure it out. This guy, who's like this cool kind of druid, maybe.
Yeah, he's okay.
You don't think he's cool?
I mean, he's cool. I think all the other ones that are out in front of your face right now
are
are
way
better.
cooler.
Yes.
But then also there's this dwarf. I don't think I've ever really painted a dwarf.
You have
Like one?
a wizard,
Oh, yeah.
but you don't usually get excited about dwarves to paint.
I know.
So that's cool.
So
that you like
he
this
would
one.
have to be like kind of exciting. Here's his like companion person in his little set. That guy. He's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so I don't know.
I really like that one too.
I'm thinking maybe it's the dwarf's night.
I'm fine with that.
But mistakes were made because I glued it down, which is obviously a terrible idea because this whole bottom portion.
You still have a hard time getting in
which
there.
is going to be, like, really, I don't know, guys. It's just all going to be black or something, maybe.
It's all
And I
shaded.
glued it down. So now this is what the base looks like. So, like, not bad.
It's all good. So yes,
Not bad. But if I paint him, I still think I should do him, like, gold and, like, purple or something.
yeah, we said gold, purple, and you said some other color.
Red, maybe?
I
'Cause
wanna
that would
say
be, like,
that.
typical, but I could do, like, a blue or a turquoise. Green wouldn't work. I'm not doing red and green, like, zero chance of that.
No, I think it was red, gold, and purple. I think that's what you said you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like, that.
To me,
I feel
dwarves, gold is a big deal, right?
Yeah, that's why I want to
So
make
gold
him
is
gold.
fine.
Like, I want, like, his armor to
Gold.
be gold. Like, his
Yeah.
helmet here and everything here, and then maybe some of these things in his banner.
Gold and red.
And then do some of the cloth, like, in the front here, red. Maybe some of this red, and then, like, a purple cape.
Okay,
That's what I'm thinking.
that's fine. Sounds fine to me.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
I don't know. He's fancy. You could always make
Yeah.
it bronze, too.
You could. I mean,
Is
it's
that if
really
we
close to
think
gold.
The color would look better.
No, I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay.
I think it's fine either way.
All right. Well, we're gonna find out how it looks.
So now I gotta.
So what were you saying about our Black Rock game?
I'm gonna save that for a little later, until after I finish this table.
Oh,
The biggest thing is I
are.
want to get this table done. It was the thing I kind of mentioned beforehand that I didn't go into detail on. So.
You know I don't remember.
Yeah, you do. I just said I was like some of the rules in the book, one of the books, and some of the things. But anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
There were items. There were magic items mentioned.
Kinda. That was one of the things. But yes, we'll talk about it all later. So.
Venn diagram of dwarves and Austin Powers Goldfinger.
Yeah, baby. All right. So we have 87 items on this random encounter chart. So the reason I originally pulled these books out is because I was looking for some inspiration for the tables. That's why I pulled these out. So I do have one sticky note.
Recap on like random encounters
for caverns. It's
caverns.
D100 Fantasy Cavern Encounter Table.
Okay, guys, I've been here for like 3 weeks and I still don't.
You don't ever pay attention and remember. It's normal. So
cavern table.
Yeah. So, anyways, hang on a sec though. So, this isn't your normal one. It's not just like, oh, here's a monster, roll for D6 monsters. Like, there's some things like that on here. There's like things for like puzzles. Not a lot of puzzles, but there's more like some traps.
That's really what
things
we
that
need
you're
is
coming
more...
across. It's not necessarily like a combat encounter or even an encounter in general, really. It's just a thing that might inspire an encounter for somebody too. So, an example. You walk into a room and see a river passes through it. If the party looks into it, they see themselves looking into the river. Like, that's one of the options. Another one is a pair of helmets with a gem that glows when they speak telepathically to each other. You enter a cavern that seems empty, except for a shimmer floor to ceiling on the opposite wall. When you get close, it rushes at you like a tidal wave. It is a swarm of ...
Okay, and so how do we... Okay, we're going to make this table.
Yep, and then we're going to upload it for the patrons.
So, okay.
So if you want the PDF of this, go and become a $1 patron. And we have other tables we've done. We do this every time we mini paint, which we mini paint every week. We get about a table done usually every other time we do this. Sometimes we're on a roll and we finish one almost every time. So
well, it just depends. This is a D100. I think we've done before.
D20s.
A lot of the ones we've done are D20s.
Yeah, I like D20
go quick.
tables.
That's quick, but like
depending on the topic, we've struggled on
100 is sometimes hard, man. I know that I was all for 100, but like I don't know what I was thinking.
I told you D100. I don't like doing the 100 ones as much because again, I think you lose steam throughout, no matter what. Like 100 things is actually quite a bit. So it always seems like we run out of steam on the longer tables. I always do. If I'm making tables by myself just for the hell of it, I always run out of steam after like 40. I'll hit 20, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy. And then like I do another 20, I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to think of the same stuff I've already thought of. And I fizzle out. So but anyways, I did grab a couple books tonight. I grabbed the D&D Dungeon Master's Guide and the first edition Pathfinder Game Mastery Guide to find some things to possibly inspire more things. So already, one of the very first ideas I had before even opening these, though, and that I've been thinking about for a couple days, is how about a misplaced creature? So a creature that should not be in a cavern or caves. Could be something that's like an underwater creature or something like that. And so when the players walk into the room, there is a creature in a cage. If it's an underwater creature, it's in a cage submerged in a tank.
Okay.
You know, something like that,
okay.
right?
So they walk in and there's like a tank in the room?
A fish tank. Like a large fish tank, yeah.
You should just make it like a glass tank, right? So
well, that's what it would be. Yeah, that's what it would be.
Okay,
that's
so how big is right? So what type of creature are you thinking you want for this?
I don't know. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a water creature. I'm saying just a misplaced creature. A creature that doesn't belong.
I like the tank idea.
Well, so I'm thinking we leave it up to the DM to decide the misplaced creature. We throw a couple ideas
but isn't that the hard part?
No,
yes, the players walk into the room and find a misplaced creature. Examples include things like
Creature in a cage.
Fish tank full of water snakes, or a large bowl full of water snakes, or I don't know, a large tank.
So
a large tank?
Yeah. So this is what I got. The players walk into a cavern and find a misplaced creature in a cage. Period. Examples could be shark in a tank. What else would be a good one? You said like water snakes. Water snakes in a tank. What would be one that wouldn't be in a cavern that might? How about
like an Arctic
large
wolf
bird
or something?
Yeah, an Arctic wolf.
Oh, like a oversized tropical bird. You know?
An oversized tropical bird.
I feel like those all could have been separate things.
They could have, but you don't want to have the exact same thing over and over and over again on a table.
I mean, okay,
right?
Yeah,
that's all.
True.
So,
like, I get that.
And the big thing is the cage part, right? So, if cage, I'll even say /tank. And then it's up to the DM to decide how it got there or whatever based on this. These are prompts. That's more what these are. These are not like telling you, here's your encounter, run it this way. They're prompts. That's all they are. So Tyler says, you enter a half-circle shaped theater containing only 8 bench seats, a brown bear fur rug, and a grand piano lit by a smoldering fireplace. So this would be a cavern, so maybe like a carved out amphitheater. Like you walk into a cavern that's been carved out into an amphitheater.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Guys, here's what the package looks like. FYI. That's the suggestion on the bag.
So
I guess we're taking artistic
containing 8 bench seats, a rug made of an exotic creature, and a grand piano lit by a smoldering fireplace. Cool.
Great idea.
I like that one.
Love it.
I'm digging that one. So there we go. We have 88. We need at least I think 22 more. So, but we're on track.
We're on 88.
That was 88.
Yeah, that's like 12.
We need 100.
Yeah.
100 items.
No, we have 88. That's 12. We need 12 more.
Oh, yeah. 12 more.
Okay.
Wow. Woo! It's been a day, guys.
You are special tonight.
I was like, what? Okay, yes, you are correct. My math is wrong tonight. I should probably get more sleep is what I should do.
Holy crap. We put you in charge of homeschooling.
My eyes twitching. That's how tired I am. Well, that's why I told you that was a bad idea in the first place. I've told you that for months, and you still haven't figured it out. Okay. How about a room containing a puzzle that must be solved to bypass a trap or a monster? So there's an option.
Yeah, but what's the puzzle, though? That's the thing.
I know.
Like,
so,
don't they want the puzzle?
In this case, yes. So I think that, but here's no, not necessarily, because it could be anything, right? Again, I think these should be more left to being prompts. But the thing about this puzzle is it's not mandatory. Solving the puzzle, maybe it traps the monster or it allows you to bypass the monster. So you have to foreshadow the monster, right? Like maybe they know there's a sleeping monster and there's a puzzle that they have to solve to cage it or something, or to shift the room or open a door, a passageway, so that's too small for the monster to get through or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
You think that's too much? That's too difficult?
You went too far.
Okay, too much. Never mind. We won't do that.
You gotta pull it back a little bit.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, how about a trophy room? But not like your typical trophies. Maybe it's adventurers.
Yes.
Like suits of armor
Is
that
that
are on
kind
skeletons.
of morbid?
Yes.
Okay. Is that okay?
I'm putting trophy room in quotes. You walk into a trophy room with adventurers' skeletons posed with their
Gear.
armor,
Yeah.
gear, weapons, and so on. That's it. It could, maybe they come to life. Maybe they don't. I don't know. That's going to be up to those DMs.
So this looks really yellow right now, but it'll look fine when it's done. I'm just letting you know.
That's fine.
Because I see you concerned over there.
I'm not. An elaborate. How about the part?
Trophy room equals free loot. I like that. I like the way you think.
How about an elaborate shrine to a specific rare deity? Is that good?
Okay, we can do that.
And then I'll just say completely over the top afterwards. Okay.
What about... What about like just like a classic like big open cavern with giant bats?
I think we did something like that earlier.
Did we do that already?
Yeah, but we called small flying creatures and we didn't name them.
Oh. Okay.
Because we wanted to leave it open for like sturges or, you know, whatever else people are interested in. So just so you know, I actually cannot see the chat, which is fine.
Am I now responsible for the chat?
No, you're not. I can just bring it over here and read it occasionally. And now we can both see it if you technically want to. But at the same time, you should paint and I should read. That's the deal.
I'm trying to. I try to.
No, I know. You're good. You're good. All right. So we have 90 done, by the way.
Which means that we have 10 more to go. Because we can do math.
Yup.
Okay. So what about, have we done like
The answer's probably yes.
Like a golem?
Ooh, there's a noises table in here. Give me a number, 1 through 100. Quick.
58?
58. Okay. Here we go. You hear a murmuring coming from a cavern, coming from a wall.
No, you should just say whirling through the cavern. You think it's from the next room over.
You hear a murmuring whirling throughout the cavern?
Yeah, you think it's coming from the next room over.
Next room / hallway over. Or next room / hallway.
But in reality, this is the end of the line. No, I'm not going to say that.
I don't like that one. You would say that.
I'm just saying, like, maybe the DM's, like, rolling for this room, and it's, like, the last stop.
So here you go. You hear a murmuring whirling throughout the cavern. You think it's coming from the next room / hallway. In this room, though, it contains this room contains a bunch of shattered teeth or fangs that are scattered. Maybe it's the ghosts of things that have had their teeth ripped out. It's the dentist. Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
It's the evil cavern dentist.
I can't with you.
Yes, you
sometimes.
can. Tyler says a cavern containing a luminescent pool with small wreaths of steam resting gently on its surface. A healing hot spring. Gotta stay clean. Maybe on 99 to 100, you roll 2 more times and combine rolls.
That's a great idea. I love that.
No,
you don't love that?
No, because a lot of our stuff are very like they wouldn't mix at all.
You don't love it?
I mean, I like it on a normal one, but I don't know on this one. Maybe. I don't know. I gotta think on it. We got a few more to go anyway before that. You walk into I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's okay. You walk into a cavern. You walk into a cavern. You walk into a cavern and see a luminescent pool with whirling wreaths. Was it whirling? Let me pull that back up. I did like that one. With wreaths of steam resting. Gently on its surface. He said, beautiful chaos. Yeah, it would make for some interesting stuff for sure. All right, so we are now on number 93. You walk into a room, or a cavern. It's got to be a cavern because room doesn't work right.
We've done room for some of them.
Probably. You walk into a cavern that is extremely smoky. You can't see but a foot in front of your face. There you go. It's basically like being blind. Doesn't matter if you've got dark vision or anything, because it's smoke that's impairing your vision.
You should say, after that, is there something lurking? I don't know.
Is something lurking? What does it smell like in this room? What is causing the smoke? There you go. 3 questions to think about. You walk into a perfectly carved square room in this square room that is carpeted and fully furnished with a set of bench seats, a table, and even a desk with parchment scattered across it. All right, we need a monster again. What would be a cool one? Some kind of I'm thinking like Slivers from Magic the Gathering. But yeah.
What? Slivers?
You've never heard of those monsters?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull something up real quick for you. I can't believe you've never heard of a sliver.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't believe you've never heard of that.
I can't believe we haven't done like a vampire or a lich or something like that. We haven't done any of that yet. I think we did a ghost.
Okay, so I may have just closed the chat on accident and don't know how to pull it back up. Because I accidentally... Oh, here we go.
There, yeah.
I don't want to pop the chat out, though. Okay, if I pop it out, can I pop it back in?
Man, I don't know.
There's no way to pop it back in. Oh well. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, magic.
Did you just get rid of it?
No, I got it back up. So yes, Magic the Gathering had these monsters. So I used to play back in Tempest days, and they had these little things that were called slivers.
I only ever played like old school Magic.
So they're these monsters that like have these like things and not necessarily tentacles.
Oh,
they're all different.
Sort of are though.
They're all different. So you have some really cool ones though, from what I remember. So this is how I remember it right here. You see that?
Yeah.
It's got like a little beak thing, but then it's got like a tail and like these like T-Rex type talon things on the front. I don't know. Anyways, I'm imagining some kind of a monster like that. And so I might just call it a sliver.
Okay.
Like a sliver monster.
I mean, I feel like it's basically like a giant flying...
They don't necessarily fly though.
It's like a
They're
giant...
kind of like worms.
It's like a giant worm. Yeah,
like a parasitic worm.
So then say that, like a massive parasitic worm. I don't know.
Actually, that sounds kind of cool. All right, we'll go with the giant parasitic worm. Okay, come on, chat. Where are you? There you go.
Okay, what am I doing here?
Sliver deck is fun. See, Tyler knows what I'm talking about. Tyler, you understand me. I appreciate that. After wading through a cloying fog, you enter into what you take to be a long hallway. Then it turns as you follow it along. Then it branches. After some time, you realize you're in a dimming labyrinth. As true darkness envelops you slowly, the longer it takes you to solve. Mummy Lord escape encounter? Could you? Oh, we didn't do any mummies.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of undead. I said all we did was a ghost.
No, we've had skeletons and stuff.
We didn't. No, we didn't.
We've had stuff that was opened for interpretation to be skeletons. Like we just did one. The trophy room with skeletons could be a skeleton encounter.
I mean,
we have lots of stuff that are kind of open for that.
I guess.
And I think we did like a bone dragon before or something too.
But
rising from an inverted swirling pool of quicksand, a bandaged, rotting monstrosity arises before you with arms crossed, eyes glaring with an unbridled, ageless fury. A mummy lord stands before you. Rockworm or purple worm? No, so we were looking at the slivers.
They have more like a beak.
So I think
Almost.
we're just going to call it a parasitic worm with some sort of beak and talons.
A massive parasitic worm with large pinchers. You should say pinchers. That sounds more like bug-like than beak.
Yeah. A massive parasitic worm with a beak.
No, with large pinchers.
With large pinchers and a beak.
No beak.
Oh, I thought you said and a beak.
No, pinchers instead of a beak.
We can't have both?
Well, I just think it's... I don't know.
Like the beak would be its mouth. The pinchers might be its arm or something like that pulls the food into the beak. Right?
I don't know, man. Is that what it is?
I'll just say that. I'll say a massive parasitic worm with large pinchers appears or comes out of the walls before the party. Boom. Love it. Okay, so what about a room lined with sarcophagus?
Yeah, I said that one time before and you were like, no, I don't want to do that. You were all negative Nancy about it.
Okay, fine. A large room lined with mummy sarcophagus. And one at the far end lined with gold patterns and surrounded
Glazed open. No, you
by
should.
treasure. No, you want to suck them in. You want to bring them in.
Yeah, but...
Upon disturbing it, you want all the other ones to pop open.
It's a trap. Paintbrush sucks. Had it with that one.
The main sarcophagus has a magical alarm.
You should just leave it at that. You're getting all like...
All right, yeah, you're right.
These ones need to be vague.
You're right.
I mean, I know I'm right. We know that.
Whatever. Like the swarm of maggots from one of the newer books, they burrow into the victim's body slowly, going for the heart unless burned out. Ooh, that sounds brutal. I was thinking a circle of the spore swarm, Lord of whatever, would be fun to RP. As a player character, I think that would be interesting. I could definitely see some DMs I've played with being like, nope, that sounds evil. Nope, evil. I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, clearly. You guys, they didn't make this easy. They should have made this cape removable.
Okay. Monster lists. Ooh, here we go. No. Okay. More monster lists. Okay, good with that book. Done. Let me look at this one. This one actually has stuff. I don't want to steal them.
So, how many have we done?
Like 94 or something. 96. We have 4 more.
Okay, so... What about, like... What about them just walking in and there being, like, a pedestal with an object on it or something?
Okay. A really tall one?
Like a glowing, purple orb. Guys.
Okay, the party walks into a cavern that has a raised pedestal.
In the center of the room.
It doesn't matter
In
where
the
it's
center
at.
of the cave. Whatever.
About 30 feet high.
Slick on all sides or something. Smooth on all sides.
The pedestal is slippery from...
No, you don't.
I want it to be even more difficult, though.
Don't be specific.
I'm not, but I want it to be slippery because it has a substance on it. It has something on it. Pedestal is slippery from some sort of
ooze.
Slimy, I don't want to say ooze, slimy substance. How? On top of the pedestal is
So it could be
very...
like a purple slime dripping from the ceiling.
Could be anything. I'm not going to say color. I'll leave it open.
I know, but you could say it's a slime dripping from the ceiling.
I could. On top of the pedestal is a crystal orb.
I said orb. Well, crystal and orb are two different things.
Orb means circular. Crystal means material.
I mean,
right?
I guess, but okay, continue on.
Okay, fine.
Do what you want.
An
Do
orb.
what you want.
An
Do what you
orb
want.
that emits a humming sound.
And a pulsating yellow glow.
And a pulsating glow. I'm not going to say a color. Boom.
Colors aren't system neutral, apparently.
No, I don't care. I just am being difficult because I want to be difficult right now.
Story of my life.
It's great. Ooh. The hallway leading to this... the hallway leading to the next cavern room is lined with arrow slits. Could be a trap. Could be monsters on the other side.
You should just say slits in the wall, not arrow slits.
I mean, there's definitely a difference, but okay.
I mean, it's sort of a weird
The
sounding
slits
phrase.
in the wall.
Even just saying like the hallway has slits in the wall. I don't know.
Fine. Whatever. All right, we're on number 99. Let's see what the chat's got going. You enter a chamber illuminated by a glowing orb suspended above a group of medium-sized insectoid humanoid.
Ooh, insect humanoids. We don't have any of those.
Playing a card game. No, I'm not gonna do a card game, but that is funny. Grasshopper seems to be winning.
Insect humanoids. That's a great idea, though.
Insect humanoids are clicking. Say communicating in parentheses with each other in what appears to be some sort of ritual, and a portal appears. Boom. Number 100. This one has to be good. We're on the very last one. This has to be the best one that we've come up with because it's number 100. Maybe the most lethal one.
Tiamat.
Tiamat.
That's it. That's all. That's the whole room.
No, because Tiamat's a specific monster for D&D only.
Okay, fine.
Long,
Hydra.
swirling stairs ascend
To an observation
hundreds of feet up in this cavern.
To an observation tower.
On top,
Right? No?
at the top is a platform. So that's what the room looks like. In this cavern is a
What?
long swirling stairs.
I know.
ascend hundreds of feet up
understand.
in this cavern.
I'm
At
just
the
not
top
sure
is a
where are you
platform.
going.
A monster of some sort. Or something large. Why is there stairs and a large platform at the top of the stairs? What is important about that?
I don't know.
Maybe a large monster? Maybe a large idol, like a giant statue? Like, if I think, like, Smog in the movie where they have, like, the golden dwarf that, like, engulfs Smog. Like, I don't know. Could be something like that. Right?
I mean, I don't know, man. Sure.
Or maybe it's like this because the bottom of this cavern fills with lava. And so you have to escape the lava before it... Or maybe water rushes in, high tides, right? And so you have to escape the water and get to the top every now and then.
I don't know.
I don't know. Just an idea. Just ideas.
So is that a no to the Hydra?
No, it could be a Hydra. Hydra's fine. I don't have a problem with Hydra. How about a Hydra covered in mold? Or covered in...
Feathers?
No, actually we did a flying Hydra. So nope.
Oh, shoot.
Hydra's
we
out.
did.
Hydra
Guys,
is out.
You didn't remind me.
What about something like a bunch of fire-breathing beetles? Like swarms of fire-breathing beetles. I don't know why, but... or I could just leave it like that. But that's kind of lame. A Naga. No, I'm just kidding. Can't do that.
Sphinx?
On the platform is a Sphinx.
Who will grant you a wish for answering a riddle?
No. Long swirling... I hate wishes. Long swirling stairs ascend hundreds of feet up in this cavern. At the top is a platform where a wise old Sphinx rests.
Will you at least say what will he do if you answer a riddle?
Do they like
Riddle?
riddles? Is that the deal with
Yeah,
Sphinxes?
don't Sphinx love riddles? Isn't
I don't
that
know.
like their thing? Like they're super smart.
He gets annoyed if you think he's going to ask you for a riddle.
Oh, screw you. I don't know, guys. What do you think?
I think I just
Isn't
leave it
that
like
what
that.
Sphinx do?
I'll just leave it like that. They can do what they want with it. So there's our D100 list. Now I got to grab the watermark and put it on every page. And then we're done with that. So...
And then we're going to move on to something bigger and better.
we're not going to start another table tonight.
Okay, fine. We're not going to move on to anything bigger and better. We're
You
going
wanted
to
to hear about what I was thinking.
Oh, I
and
do.
stuff.
What game are we playing on Saturday?
This is Tyranny of Dragons this week.
Fabulous. Okay.
Tyranny of Dragons Saturday on stream. So there, that is saved. Now let's save it as
Oh,
a
and you
PDF.
guys are playing Call of Cthulhu tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes.
That's fancy.
All right, saving as a PDF.
I'm super surprised that that's how Peter expected that to go. I was
No.
like,
I didn't say that. He has a outline, and we did everything on the outline.
Yeah,
That's what he
I
said.
was like, where are they going to this?
Oh no,
Anyway.
I told him.
I was so confused.
If you want to know why Paula is so confused, go watch our Thursday Pulp Cthulhu game. Also, go and subscribe to BN Drake's YouTube channel.
Guys, it was
for his other
wild.
games.
I was just
was.
like, holy crap. It was just a wild game.
Oh, speaking of BN Drake, he's in the chat.
Hi.
So can I can't. I'm really bothered by this.
What?
So I don't think it ends the stream if I do this. So I'm going to close that. Let's go YouTube Studio. Videos. We should still be streaming.
Are we? I don't know.
Yes, see it says live. So technically I don't have to be in the control room the whole time. So anyways, I'm opening up the control room again with the chat embedded. There we go. So much better. Okay. So yes, B and Drake Peter is in the chat. He says, if you correctly answer the riddle, see D20 bar trinket table.
Yes. I
That
love
is great.
it. Do that. Do it.
It's
do
too late.
it.
I've already
No,
made the
it's
PDF
not.
and everything. Too
It's
late.
not too late.
Yep.
It's never too late. It's never
You ascend the staircase
too
to a
late.
platform covered in facehugger eggs. With a dull thud, you see the chamber filling with lava from below as the eggs begin to hatch. Actually, that would be pretty awesome.
Those are both awesome options.
I know, but
Those
that's
should
from
have been
those are from
99,
Alien.
99 and 100. There you go. The barred trinket
We're
table.
good.
I
We're
love
good.
it.
I'm happy. I'm satisfied. So
Missed opportunity, man. I'm telling you.
yeah.
I think it was a great idea anyway.
So yeah, it was a good idea. I did like those. I really like that, but I don't want to open it again and redo it.
So Tyranny of Dragons this Saturday.
Yeah, no, we weren't even talking about that.
Oh,
You
okay.
are, like,
Shoot.
Jumping around. all
I'm
over the
sorry.
place.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on, man.
I don't remember now.
I don't know.
You're throwing me off.
BlackRock, you wanted to talk about something. You wanted to talk about the cool magic items that you're going to give us.
No, it's not about magic items I'm giving you.
Oh, that's
So there's
what
a
I
few
thought
things
you
I want to
said.
do. No, there's a few things I want to do.
This
Because
is getting less exciting now.
whatever. So tonight I was going through the Dungeon Master Guide on D&D 5e, and I was looking at some of the variant rules for magic items and other things, and I like them. I like that it's doing things different than how we've been doing them for so long. So
What do you mean?
Well, I'm gonna open it up now. Obviously, I'm gonna run it by everybody before deciding to do this for sure. So.
So nobody freak out. Everybody keep it together.
Yeah, I don't know if Tom's still here. He might be. He may be painting some miniatures alongside.
He might be freaking out at home. Like, oh my gosh, what's he going to do?
Nah.
He doesn't know. It's about to happen.
So there's a few things, though. Number one, I've always wanted to use more downtime in our games in general.
Wait,
so,
total, how many things are there?
I don't know. Stop.
Okay, well, you just said number one. I was just
Yeah,
wondering.
I can keep numbering as I list off new things, though. But I don't know how many things.
But can you?
So one of the things I've always wanted to do
I don't
in
know.
my
We had a
homebrew
math
games.
trouble last time.
I don't have to know what the final number is, though. I just keep counting up. I can count. Counting and adding.
Okay,
and
what
stuff.
problem did we have?
We don't have problems. But I don't use enough downtime in my games. It's like a whole thing that I just never get around to doing in any of my games. It never comes up because it seems like we're always next, like just going into the next thing, no matter what. There's never downtime in our homebrew games.
Yeah, we're hardcore.
Right. So anyways, I want to use more downtime. So one of the things that would lead to that, which if we did it, I would love to do things like carousing events, like what happened over the course of the time. And you can roll on this table. Like, give me a number.
82.
82 would mean you earn modest winnings from gambling. You recuperate your lifestyle expenses for the time spent carousing and gain 1d20 times 4 gold.
So, okay.
You could earn things from it, but that's not it.
So, here's the thing.
Yes.
That I'm wondering.
Yes.
So, how are you going to use it, though? Is it going to be something where...
Everybody rolls.
Yeah, but are
based
you
on what
gonna...
they wanted to do.
Okay, but so are you going to have people roll and tell them, and then they describe, like, well, how this played out? Or are they going to roll ahead of time and just know, and then they're just going to role play it out?
Both are wrong. First off, you would ask everyone, hey, what have you done over the last 20 days? Right? Or how much downtime did you guys spend? Right? Maybe I leave it up to you guys. How long have you guys, as a group, collectively decided to hang out in town?
Right.
And then based on that, you guys would say however long it is. Then I would say, okay, what did each of you do? And here's the thing. Not only would it be different things like carousing, crafting magic items or potions.
So there are different
running a business.
Subjects.
Yes.
And then you roll. You could roll. Is this an option if you didn't know what to do? I'm just asking if it's optional or mandatory.
Right now, it's nothing. It doesn't exist.
I
so
know,
hang
but
on.
what would you want it to be?
Well, hang on and let me finish everything first. Because one of the other...
I have a lot of questions.
You can wait till I'm done to ask. Because you're going to have more. So here's the other thing. So you can also sell magic items because it takes time, right? You can look for rumors or possibly spread rumors, whatever. And...
Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm not taking full advantage of that right now.
And train to level up. Bring back that old school thing that you had to do before where you had to spend so much downtime and gold to level up.
Yep, you always had to find somebody.
That's what this says.
To train
you. As a variant rule, you can require characters to spend downtime training or studying before they gain the benefits of a new level. If you choose this option, once a character has earned enough experience points to attain a new level, he or she must train for a number of days before gaining any class features associated with the new level. The training time required depends on the level to be gained, as shown on the training to gain levels table. The training cost is for the total training time. So yeah, I would probably say you need to do some carousing to try to find your person to train you. Okay, so here's the thing. And you have to be in a place that has somebody. If you're gonna, so here's the thing now, and this is why people would hate that rule sometimes, is because what would happen is the DM would pick that rule, and then you would level, and then you spend days and days and sessions not in a place where you can level up. Like you can't gain access to anybody. Right. So you've leveled like 3 sessions ago. Now you got 2 levels that you've leveled, and you still haven't gotten to. So I don't mind like buying into those rules, but you have to give people the opportunity. Again, I'm not saying we do this. Just tonight, I looked at it and I was like, nah, maybe I would do this. The other things, again, I'm not sold on it. Not even saying we should necessarily do it. But I do want to use downtime more in my games, in general. I don't mind. Again, I'm just saying then you have to allow downtime. You can't be one of those jerks. So think about it. In our BlackRock game, what have I not allowed you to do? No, but I'm just saying... No. Have I ever said no in a game you can't go somewhere? No, but like... No, you can't leave this cavern. That's what I planned tonight. I've never forced you guys into what I planned. Ever. In any of my games. No, I mean, like, that's true, Other than a forced combat, once. I'm just saying that sometimes it's, like, easier said than done, right? Man, I don't know, I'm just saying. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, so that was one of the things. Again, it's not a big deal. But I would like to use more downtime. And with Tom's character being a gambler, carousing events is perfect, right? Like he's in town for 2 weeks. There's a chance on that table he goes to jail, for example.
Oh, yes.
There's negative and positive things for some of these, right? So, anyways, I love that. And who knows, that might lead to a whole different adventure than what I prepped for that night. Or maybe I'd roll it ahead of time and I'd ask you guys at the end of the previous session, hey, what is it you guys are going to do? Like, how much time do you want to spend in this town? Do you want to use some downtime? Like, maybe I just leave it then.
Well, so that's what
and that allows me to pre-roll it and go from there.
That's why I was like, are you going to just do it on the fly? Or
I don't have a plan.
Well, you should probably think about what your preference would be before you propose it to the group, right?
I think it'd be group dependent. Like, for example, if it was the BlackRock game, if I left it up to the players to decide how their 2 weeks was spent, do you think I can put your brother on the spot and say, so what did your cleric do over the last 2 weeks of downtime? Do you think he could wing something over 2 weeks that would be beneficial to his character, whether it's trying to level or, levels, yeah, you already know you're going to level. But
yeah,
other things, do you think he'd be good on his feet about that?
Yeah, I think if we're all aware that, you're probably going to ask us what we did, then yeah. But if everybody's thinking that it's going to be
I wouldn't,
day.
I don't think that would be as difficult for, like, Tom and Laura, right?
I think it'd be fine. I think
everything would be fine. I'm not worried about it being fine. What would be the most fun for everybody?
I think that's fine, though.
Ad lib. Yeah, I'm fine with that, Tyler. Some players, for example...
No, I think it's fine because sometimes if people don't know, they might just say, I don't know, I might have, hung out with this other character, and they'll just play off of that, or whatever. That. I think that's totally fine.
I agree, and I don't have a problem with that. But anyways...
I don't think it's a big deal.
I'm not changing anything before our game next week. That's not happening at all, whatsoever. Not doing it. But, I came across it, and I liked it.
I think it's a great
idea. I'm floating the idea that I'm thinking about it. So the other thing, right?
Because that also means more downtime for us in cities.
Yes, which right now there's no urgency anyway, so it's perfect. If you guys wanted to spend 3 weeks in BlackRock Village, you could do that. You know what I mean? But anyway, so the next stuff I was looking at was treasure, right?
If I'm going to level, I'm going to do it anyway.
What do you mean? Oh, for your downtime, try to find a person to train you and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so started looking at treasure stuff, right? Was reading through some things because I had some time. And some of the stuff that was interesting to me. So first of all, magic item to buy is right here on page 135. I think we used the saleable chart last time. Should have used this chart, but either way, if you tried to buy it, it's on page 135 in the DM's guide. But the stuff in here that I was
gotta get you some of that elven chainmail.
Right. So the other stuff I was interested in here, though, when I run games, I don't use the charts for determining magic, gold, none of that. I just kind of, what in my mind would make sense, and I do a little bit more work with it, right? All right, I need, they would probably have 1d6 times 2 gold per character, per bandit or something. You know what I mean? Whatever. I just wing it. What items might they have? Oh, the leader might have a sword, a chaotic aligned sword or something. I don't know. And so then that's how I determine magic items in games. That's how I determine gold, treasure in general.
Mm-hmm.
Now, honestly, the way 5e is designed, you're supposed to do it a certain way. You're supposed to give out so much at certain levels and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
You are, but you're stingy sometimes.
It's because I try to use my logic for it. You're in especially in our BlackRock game, you guys actually have some stuff, kind of, and you're in a really poor part of my whole. This is one of the most poor parts of my whole world. There should not be a lot of magical items that you can just get constantly, or else everyone wouldn't be freaking poor. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe they're magic item hoarders. Like, maybe we're going to come across, like, a hoarder or something. I don't know.
Maybe. So, anyways, one of the things I'm thinking about doing is referring to the tables for how to determine it. You know, a lot of times talking to Luke from the DM Lair, he's said this is what he does. He doesn't worry about it. And he just rolls, and then that's there kind of thing. And, you know, unless it absolutely doesn't make sense. Or he tries to make it make sense. Now, the other thing that I like is the identifying of a magic item. Now, initially, if you have a magic item and you spend a short rest with it, you can kind of tell what it can do. You get some ideas of what it can do, right? Over the course of becoming attuned to it. But there's a variant that says, it says more difficult identification. If you prefer magic items to have a greater mystique, consider removing the ability to identify the properties of a magic item during a short rest, and require the identify spell, experimentation, or both to reveal what a magic item does. Now, I hate the identify spell with a passion. I hate detect magic. I hate identify. I hate all that stuff, to be honest. Like detect magic's fine, but I do not like how it tells you like the school, because magic items don't have schools associated with them. Like if I open it to any magic item, it does not tell you which school it belongs to. So I've always just been like enchantment or illusion. Like that's about it. I almost always say that. I don't go any further than that with magic items. Because I hate it.
You just gotta look up the spell.
Most of them don't have spells associated.
With it, though. Oh yeah, but a lot of them
What's
have
a plus
like
one
something
weapon?
comparable.
What's a plus one weapon?
Like yeah, but that could be anything. Why is it a plus one? Like, is it a plus one because it had like that's what you got to add in as flavor? Like, is it a plus one because
then
it
how
has
is it
some
beneficial
sort
to
of
know the
fire
school before you
damage?
attune to it? Ever?
You know, so if it does some sort of fire damage, then look up like a fireball or you know, something like that.
Right, I get that. So here's the other thing that I think people have tried to do before. But cursed items, most methods of identifying items, including the identify spell, fail to reveal a curse. So, identify should not identify a curse with an item.
Yes.
Now,
I agree with that.
I honestly did not realize that.
I
before.
agree with that.
That was, I think, part of the reason I hate the identify spell. But I think I can still stick with how the identify spell works. But without the identify spell, there's no way to tell what it does unless you attune to it. Like, you're using it. That is going to be the only way, I think. And this is something I think I'm going to implement no matter what in all my games. It's just, yeah, you have to use an item to know what it does.
Yeah.
B. and Drake says, whoa, play and let play, dude. Oh, I do. I'm fine with how people play. Even the downtime thing. No, I think he's referring to the downtime thing. I'm fine with that. But yeah, no, I don't know. But I like that. I'm just trying to think of some ways for me to get more out of D&D 5e for the games we play. Because I'm also going to, at some point, run more 5e campaigns, too. Even though I play Pathfinder now. Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I would like to branch out at some point and maybe even have 2 campaigns for that.
Oh, well,
not yet.
Buddy.
No, not yet. I'm not adding anything.
Whoa.
Only when one ends, I would add one. That's it.
Oh, so like if the...
I am maxed out on games I'm running. I will not run any more games than I am currently running. One-shots are fine because I don't have to put as much thought into those.
Except for the one-shot that we're playing.
Yeah, but one-shots are easier for me. I have a formula for almost all my one-shots. Like,
and
I'll mix it up a touch.
That? Who's playing in that?
It depends.
Me?
Yeah, it depends.
And
nobody else right now.
Peter?
No, it depends on the day.
Victor?
Paula, listen.
I think
there's 2 days.
I think Peter committed to it already.
He committed to the 26th. He can't commit to the 27th.
I'm just joking.
Bill committed to the 27th. Hasn't committed to the 26th.
Look, you're so serious.
So, no.
I'm pretty sure he said yes.
Who?
Everybody.
Right,
Continue
so one day
on.
or the other. So anyways, I want 4 players for that. No matter what. So yes, both nights I got 3 right now. No problem. Might do either the same game both nights, or Victor said he might be willing to run. Oh no, not this soon. He would be willing to do it the following month. But I don't know. I think I have availability in January for another outside of what I'm already doing, because I have one Saturday a month I'm available, right, between all of our campaigns.
Oh yeah, you don't want to.
No. So and yeah, I don't really want to dip into another night of the month, or no, yeah, another night of the week. I want to leave Sundays and Mondays alone. So it's got to be that Saturday, maybe a Friday in between Pathfinder games, but I think those Fridays are probably going to be reserved for prep. You know?
Yeah, that's what
when
you
it comes
usually
down to
like
it.
to do, or like a video or something.
Yeah,
Sometimes we use that
like
for
this
some
Friday,
videos.
I'm probably prepping for our Tyranny of Dragons game Saturday. And then once and by prepping, I mean I'm going to watch back the session Friday night. So I'll watch that 3-hour session, and then that way Saturday, I have ideas, and I can just put everything down that I want to have happen, and I'm ready for the game. You know? That's how I like to do it. But yeah, so anyways, that was it. Those are the things I kind of came across and was like, yeah, I might want to do these. Now, there's also some other stuff in here, like what is a detail from the weapon's or the item's history, who created it, or was it intended to use it, what amount of property, like
D20 table of magical weapon features. That's
yeah,
what
we
should
could do that. We could.
That's a great idea.
Next week, maybe we'll do that.
I'm so smart.
So, those are some of the things I'm thinking about. Oh, I hit something. Oh, I didn't realize it was a mini there. Man, I gotta get
You
that.
were just like knocking stuff over.
Yeah, because it was out of my sight. It was a blind spot. So yeah.
This guy looks like super bright and like also pastel at the same time, but it'll look fine when it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You always
but
darken them by the end.
It just, I always start out really bright.
Ooh, the final thing for Caleb's Christmas has shipped. So last time I got this, it took 2 weeks though.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that thing that I got you is going to show up.
Yeah, is it
Like,
gaming related?
So one of your Christmas presents is lost.
And you ordered it on Amazon?
Yes.
Hmm.
So if anybody has any suggestions, now I don't know what to get.
Yeah, that's no good. I hope it arrives. That's cool. He's gonna love it. Are you wrapping presents tonight?
I'm not.
You're not.
I wrapped so many presents.
So tomorrow you're wrapping presents while I play Pulp Cthulhu.
Probably. Like my shoulders hurt.
So I'll bring
from
those
wrapping
2
presents.
that are up there for him.
I've got so much stuff still inside. Okay, that's fine.
So
That's
what was
fine.
the big thing that's outside? Is that his like jungle gym stuff?
No, that's a basketball hoop.
Oh.
I'm actually worried that it looks smaller than what I was expecting.
No, because it's poles. It's like poles like that big around.
Oh, okay.
And it's only 7 feet tall. So here's the question for you. Should I build that and leave it in the garage? Not in the garage, but like this
No.
side room over here? And then like
No,
we
we'll
roll it
just-
out Christmas Day and put it in the driveway and then take him out there?
No. He
You
can
wanted to
just
actually open it?
Open the box. He'll
Did
play
you
with
bring
a
the
bunch
box
of,
in yet?
No, not yet. He'll
So is
play
there a
with-
box inside of that box? Is that the idea?
It's probably just like a one ply. Like it's probably part of their frustration-free packaging program.
I don't know what the hell that is. Like, we don't need
That
to get
means
into how
that
Amazon
it's-
packs shit up.
It's
Whatever.
economic packaging. That's why some things don't actually come with like printed packaging from Amazon. Like if you ever opened
Okay.
up an Amazon shipment and it's just like a brown unlabeled box basically, and like the items in it were not as expected,
Sure.
you know?
So, some of the stuff. So I'm planning on doing some videos, right? This week has been a busy week. I got a new package of Pathfinder stuff. Actually, we got 2 packages. The one was heavy as hell, and it included 2 items in it. The other one that I got last week was light in a bubble envelope. Both came with Christmas cards, by the way. I got Christmas cards from Paizo. Really cool, by the way. They have a goblin on them. I love them. But Yeah, so anyways, we're going to have that unboxing video on Friday. Now, I had unboxed it. It's actually pre-unboxed, but I'm going to show those in the video on Friday. So that is coming for sure, guaranteed Friday. Also, I'm thinking about doing on Friday is having another ancestry video out. So I might have the second, actually, I'm sorry, versatile heritage video. Might have the second versatile heritage video this week out on Friday. Peter says Caleb would then have to beat me 2 out of 3 games to open the rest of his presents because of the basketball hoop. Problem is we live in Michigan, and so if it has snowed, then it'll be very difficult to dribble a basketball in the snow and stuff.
I don't think you understand how determined our children can be.
I used to have a basketball hoop when I was a kid. It was one of the big presents I got for my birthday when I was like 9 years old. Yeah, it was... Was I 9? Maybe I was 8. 8 or 9 years old. I used to... So first I had this play school basketball hoop that was like 3 feet tall. You know, obviously no good for a kid who's 8 or whatever, because, you know, at that point you're taller than the hoop. But my dad used to always have hoopty cars, like beat up piece of crap cars. And he used to park this really crappy white car. I don't remember what kind of car it was, out in front of our house. And because it was metal and it was like a junky car, I was allowed to... It was a 2-door, by the way. Not very long. It wasn't like a Buick or anything like that. But anyways, I was allowed to put my hoop on top of it and play basketball in the street with my play school hoop on top of this trashy car. And it was great.
Wow.
And kids from the neighborhood would come over and we'd play basketball.
That's some dedication.
Hey, I told you, I grew up poor. And this was a trailer park of like 360 mobile homes. So a lot of mobile homes, a lot of kids in this neighborhood, and all of them were poor. And we used to play basketball that way. Well, then I got the basketball hoop for my birthday, an adjustable one that went as low as 7.5 feet, but as high as regulation, right? So my dad made us start with it at regulation, which makes sense because I could totally see myself doing that to my kids and be like, no, why would you play handicap? You got to play the right way. I could totally do that crap.
You would.
I would. And then, anyways, we ended up getting smart and realized, well, if you grab like a broom or something out of somebody's shed, like a rake, you can like lift it from the bottom and then drop it to the 7.5 feet. So then we started slamming on it, you know, at 9 years old, at 7.5 feet. But anyway, so we used to play basketball in the driveway. The problem is it kept hitting our mobile home. So then we moved it into the street.
What does this have anything to do with what we're talking about?
It's okay. So then we played basketball on the street again, but then we got, my mom was worried because people had to pull, like we had to stop playing constantly because cars driving down our street. So we moved it into the backyard and played on dirt. And so I understand about the determination to want to play, no matter what. And so I've actually thought about us putting the basketball hoop right outside of here on the dirt, because that's how I used to play when I was 9 years old.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah. Right?
I don't know. We can put it wherever we feel like it.
I just worry if, because of the way our driveway is sloped, the ball's going to go in the street a lot. You don't mind Lily going in the street, but our 5, who'll be 6 next summer, you can be cool with him going in the street to get his ball with the neighbors and stuff, with their truck right there. I don't think that's a good idea. So I think it's going to go in the dirt. It won't roll as far, you know, after they shoot. It's not going to go into the street, not going to go into anyone else's. Like, it just seems perfect. But anyways, enough about that.
Clearly, we have not discussed this.
We have not. I don't want it in the driveway also because of those light things on the garage. And if one of those gets hit, it's getting broken off of our house.
Okay.
Right? That's all. Anyways. So riffs, the one shot. Right now, we have 3 people no matter what night we play. I have to make pre-gens, and of the pre-gens, I'm also going to type a little blurb about how they know each other pre-gen. This is going to be something I can give to any group in the future. Might even use these exact same pre-gens for another one shot 6 months down the line. Right? So, anyways, of this, I'm just going to go through some of the options.
Oh, and just like let's pick what some of the pre-gens are gonna be.
Yeah, I'll make maybe up to 5 pre-gens, maybe 6. Now, if 2 people want to be the exact same pre-gen, that's fine. You know, I can send it to them, and they could change the name or whatever, right?
Okay.
No big deal. In fact, I won't even put names on them. I'll just say character 1 through 6, right? And I won't say if they're a guy or a girl.
Oh, so it's random too?
No, it's not going to be random. But when I give a character their pre-gen, they'll still have to name it, and they can determine the gender of it.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah,
it.
That makes
That's the
sense.
only thing. That way, like, if you really want to play the former Coalition soldier, you're not forced to be Duke Drosy, the former, you know, Coalition soldier. So there's 2 things I for sure want to do, though. I do want a dog boy, which is a humanoid dog. Oh, I forgot.
You don't have your computer plugged in?
No, because you needed to walk through here, and I didn't want you to trip and bust your face. So...
You think I'm that uncoordinated?
Yes, and it's not just you. I worried about me. So the dog boy is a humanoid dog character that in Rifts typically serves the Coalition Army.
Okay.
They can sniff out superpowered creatures, like they can tell. You know what I mean? Because they're attuned to their senses. It's like kind of like an instant dog whistle every time they're around somebody who can cast spells and stuff, kind of thing, right? So anyways, dog boy, but I want them to be tied to a former Coalition soldier, so that would be a mercenary or something. Let me see, what would it be? It could be a lot of things, I guess. It could be like a wilderness scout or, you know, whatever. Merc soldier. There we go. It'd be a merc soldier. So the merc soldier is going to be the former Coalition guy. And he's going to have a dog boy, which is a separate character that someone can play. And maybe it doesn't serve him. Maybe they're equals and, you know, they're friends. And that's why they left the Coalition, because they didn't agree with it or whatever. So those are 2 of the 6 I definitely want to do. Now, here's the options. There's a combat cyborg. There's a cyber knight, which is kind of like your Jedi. They have like psionic powers. They can use guns. They can use their swords. They have like psionic swords. Things like that. A glitter boy is obviously a pilot who works a giant mech that has what's called a boom gun, and it shoots like tons of missiles with one shot. It's a huge deal. That's what I played in the Savage Rifts game, by the way. Remember? Where I had to he had because of the way his gun worked, he had like thrusters on his back that he had to turn on when he shot his gun so that the mech wouldn't go flying back.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. A headhunter. A juicer, which a juicer is a person who is basically on drugs. Like, and not just like for fun. Like, these drugs are to make them superior.
Like super soldiers.
Yes. But it shortens their life. Once they get on this program, they will not live more than 5 years no matter what. That's how potent these are. Like, a juicer can act like 7 times to other characters once, usually. Like, because they're just like super. Like, imagine the Flash, but he's only the Flash because he's on these crazy drugs, and he's strong like not like the Hulk necessarily, someone much lesser, but really like strong.
Wolverine.
Yeah, but Wolverine's not strong necessarily. But
Captain America.
Okay, but like Wolverine, you will have a very high pain threshold. Like, almost every physical aspect of you as a juicer is better than your normal person by a lot because you're souped up on drugs. Like, you have tubes running like around your body and like different spots that like have needles in your skin, and that's where your powers come from, is from the drugs. A robot pilot OCC, which is similar to the Glitter Boy, but again, you might just operate some other kind of mecha or robot. Let's see. I'm not going to do that. That's more of like an NPC. You could be a rogue scholar, a vagabond. Vagabond is exactly what you would think. It's mostly a normal person who's just a survivalist. They probably are decent at some skills of trying to survive. Remember, this is a post-apocalyptic setting. So, being able to do that might be a big deal.
So could I have like a power suit or something? Wasn't that one of them?
That would probably be like a robot pilot or a glitter boy, if that's what you wanted.
Okay.
There's an elemental fusionist. So, for example, fire and water elemental fusionist powers, earth and air elemental fusionist powers, things like that. Kind of like magic, right? A ley line walker is a magic user that gains more power the closer you are to ley lines. So that's where the setting gets its name from rifts, right? Rifts are basically these lines of energy that run around the world. And people, this is a verifiable thing. Like, you can actually look up ley lines in the world. Like, the Bermuda Triangle is an example of where a bunch of ley lines are in real life. But anyway, so these characters get a ton, they go supernova when they're near these ley lines, basically. Like, they're extremely powerful. It's like how Jean Grey turns into the Phoenix and becomes, way more powerful than she normally is, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's how they are when they're around ley lines. They're way more powerful.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's a ley line walker. There's a ley line rifter. I don't know the difference between the two. A mystic, again, kind of like a magic, psionic or magic, or both, I guess. A shifter, looks like it does dimensional travel, battle of wills, pact of servitude, link to the supernatural. A techno wizard, which is kind of like a gadgeteer. So it's, he's got magic infused weapons and stuff, right? Different psychic characters would be like the Burster, which is like fire, obviously. The Dog Boy, who sniffs out, certain characters. A Mind Melter, which, as a psionic, right? Mind Melter is probably exactly what you're thinking. Somebody can get into your head and mess you up. A Psi Stalker. A Dragon Hatchling. Yes, you can play a dragon in Rifts. It's a baby dragon, but it's there. So those are the options. So right off the bat, like I said, I do want a glitter boy too. So you gotta have a glitter boy, probably a juicer. I want a former coalition soldier and a dog boy. We gotta add some magic things in here, right? So
the elemental sounded cool.
The elemental fusionist is one, you think?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go with that. And what would be the last one? Techno wizard I'm making because Victor, so I guess that would be 6. But maybe I'll make another. We'll see. For the most part, I'm going to, rather than using the way they do the skills, I don't like how skills are done in Palladium books at all.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
I've said it before. First of all, let me go to the skills page. Skill list 302. So my problem with the skills, like I've mentioned before, is that in Palladium books, it just feels like they randomly assign percentages. And that's it. That's just what your skill is at first level. You don't get options to really up it, other than if your intelligence is really high or your education level might add a certain percentage to it. And to me, it just doesn't make sense. For example, creative writing at first level with no other bonuses, 25%. So you can 25% of the time succeed at creative writing. Whereas laser communications, 30% with no additional bonuses. Why is 125 and 130? That doesn't, I feel like creative writing would be a hell of a lot easier than laser communications.
Well, I don't know. How much time have you spent trying to figure out laser communications? Maybe it's easier than you think, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But horsemanship, as a cowboy is 66%.
I mean, because they're a cowboy.
Yeah, but it's not because you're a cowboy. That's just a skill. You're acting like a cowboy, right?
Well, I don't know.
Here you go, Paula. Cooking is 35%.
Well, that proficiency seems a little low, but...
Do you want to hear one that's even more difficult?
Well,
Recycle.
It is post-apocalyptic.
Or dancing.
So...
Or dancing.
I'm sorry, but have you seen the majority of the human population attempt to dance? That's an accurate representation of society.
Okay,
right
fine. Sure.
Right there.
Okay, how about this? In the military, camouflage is 20%. But demolitions is 60%. So I can make a bomb way more successfully than I can camouflage myself.
Well, yeah. Have you ever tried to camouflage yourself?
Yes, I went to Marine Corps boot camp and we did it.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm just saying, like...
It's actually pretty easy. Like, it's not that bad.
I'm just saying.
You
know?
Yeah, I guess. But military etiquette for somebody in the military will be 35%. Because that's the other thing. You don't get the military skills unless you have a military education. In this
people
game.
make bad choices, you know?
My point is the percentages are arbitrary. They're just randomly chosen and written, and it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm thinking about just having I like how Call of Cthulhu does skills, or at least Pulp Cthulhu. When you choose skills, yeah, it has a starting number, usually pretty low, and you can allocate points. I'm actually going to steal that. I'm going to steal that idea. And I'm probably going to do something like, I'm going to give everybody the same amount of skills. I'm not going to do it based on how they select skills in this game. If it's imperative for the class,
game is like Rifts-esque.
It's Rift's homebrew Juice style.
It's Rifts light.
It's how Juice wants Rifts to be if it was still Rifts. Yes. It's not my full-on, like, what I would do to change Rifts, but it's just one of the things that bothers me. I'm just going to make it easy. So I can just be like, yeah, you are this, and this. You're probably good at this. You know what I mean? And if you're good at it, I'm going to up the skill percentage. Rather than everybody in the party who has the same skill being equally as good at it, no matter what. That just seems dumb to me. Like, oh, you got 3 guys with demolitions. You got 1 bomb to set off. Who's going to do the demolition skill?
You have 4 guys who know how to do
silly.
Demolitions, but don't know how to cook.
Right.
Like, y'all are going to starve to death.
Basically. So, yeah. I don't know. So, I'm just going to tweak that a little. But I'm going to make that list right now of the character types we talked about. Merc, for sure. Dog Boy. Techno Wizard. And by the way, if you want in on this game, and you are not a patron, I am currently only offering it to $10 patrons. In about a week, if it's not full, we will open it up to $1 patrons. In fact, in a week, I mean Monday. And then if it's still not full, we will open it up to people on my Discord. So that's the way you get in. So if you want to go become a patron for $1, not only are you going to get access to all of our tables from before, you will also get access to play in one-shots. First come, first serve. And other than if we're working out scheduling. Like if I got one person who's the first person, but they're only available on the one time, but then I've got like 4 people who are available at the other time, I'm going to go with that. So that's the only exception to that. So Merc, Dog Boy, Techno Wizard, Elemental, Fusionist. I think a Glitter Boy is important. I really hope someone plays it. So Melchior said a few things. He said, "Oh Lord, the phrase dog boy triggers some memories of a story I heard. Most of it true, but it's probably not suitable for the chat." Oh, okay. Thanks for sharing and piquing my interest. Technomage and B5 speak. Babylon 5 is, by the way, a great sci-fi series. It is. I gather that the only reason it's not been repeated on TV is due to some high-level executive with some personal beef over it. Oh, maybe. I'm sure it's got to be on a streaming service at this point. Probably Amazon or something. I don't think it's on Hulu, and I know it's not on Netflix. But I bet you that's on like Amazon Prime or Apple TV. So Merc, Dogboy, Techno Wizard, Elemental Fusionist. I feel like there's so many iconic things, honestly, in here that I feel like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You just don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Juicer. That was another one. Got the Merc. By the way, the ones that I kind of skipped over were Body Fixer, City Rat, Cyberdoc, Operator.
What's Cyberdoc?
Rogue Scientist.
Oh, that's is that
Cyberdoc is
robot.
Cyberdoc and a Body Fixer are people who make like cyborgs, but you're not going to get a chance to do that because it takes time to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why they're more
It's
like
not really
NPCs.
Good for a one shot.
Right, and I'm thinking more of a wilderness game, so that's why I'm not worried about a city rat, right?
Okay.
Now that doesn't. So being a post-apocalyptic world, you might feel like, yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. You might be on the top of the ruins of a city though that has sewers. So there's a chance you might find a sewer manhole and go into a sewer in the middle of a forest, like, you know.
That's always a possibility.
Yeah, so I mean, you could do some stuff, but I'm not going to worry about a city rat. I managed to get the entire series and all the movies on DVD a while back. Oh, there you go. You're all set then. So there's not a lot of magic here. Techno Wizard, Juicer, the Elemental Fusionist. I kind of think a Leyline Walker would be important. I think I'm going to do a Leyline.
You're going to have to do something near a ley line then.
Possibly, yes. Or not. It just depends.
Yeah, but it's sort of like the city rat that, like, you don't want them to... Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really putting the Leyline Walker so we have some kind of magic user. But maybe there's an opportunity, like around one of the original fights or something, like, oh, here's a Leyline too, so you can go Supernova and wipe these guys out all of a sudden. But the boss fight, nope, no Leyline, you're screwed. You're just normal. No, I'm just kidding.
You're just a
But yeah, there
regular
are
person today.
So there are power armors though. You know, like if you were playing a Vagabond and you somehow had like some operating skills, you could, in theory, operate. So there's different power sources. So there's the Northern Gun Samson power armor, a Flying Titan power armor. There's robot vehicles, Titan combat robots, which, by the way, that's how big they are in comparison. A human comes up to their kneecap of these mecha things.
Oh,
so they're
yeah.
massive. So that's the other thing people talk about when they talk about rifts and how unbalanced it is, because you're going to have something like this with a rocket launcher, right? And it's going to shoot, you know, all sorts of crazy things and do a ton of damage. But you're going to have them right next to a Vagabond, a drifter, basically, someone who just travels on foot. Not really an exceptional person. Think Book of Eli.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Now, obviously, there's ways to, you know, give people their spotlight. Force the players to go down into sewers to clear their objectives or into tight places. Now, whoever's operating that combat suit has to get out.
Bring it with them.
Yeah, they got to get out, you know. I feel like Rifts, or just Palladium books in general, forces you as a player to think a little more. You can't just go and exchange hits like what you see in D&D these days, you know. And I feel like it forces you as a game master to put more thought into your encounters. You can't just, again, all right, you come across 6 things, what do you do? Like, it just can't always be like that. You got to mix things up. You gotta force a little bit of social. You gotta force different environments.
Because you have a large variety of characters.
Yes, and in order to make it fun for everybody and share the spotlight, that you kind of have to prep encounters to cater towards certain strengths. Like a ley line walker, right? Yeah, this person's, in some armor, so they're going to be able to handle these mechas, but maybe your psychic character can get into that guy's head in the mecha suit. Or maybe this ley line walker can now go supernova and just obliterate it with that, whereas before it couldn't. You know what I mean? It's a very deadly game. Like, very deadly. If you're not wearing, like, MDC armor, you get hit by a scratch from an MDC weapon and you're dead. 1 MDC damage kills anybody without MDC armor.
Yeah?
Automatic death.
Wow.
There's no way to survive it.
Like, they don't play around.
MDC is 1,000 SDC points of damage. That's why.
Okay.
A human, for an example, has 30 SDC. So if you're taking 1 MDC, that's 970 points of damage over what your SDC can handle. And you're probably only going to have like 10 hit points beyond the SDC. So, yeah, dead.
Like, you're out of the game with that, bro.
Yup. So Vagabonds, very difficult to survive without getting some armor at some point. That's also why pretty much everybody who ever plays it always make sure they get an MDC pistol. They always make sure they get some MDC armor. Like, when the game first came out, those things were supposed to be rare. Like, you weren't supposed to be able to get those unless you had, a lot of money, or you were coming from a class that had that. So all magic is MDC damage too. That's the other thing.
Oh.
Any magical creatures in Rifts do MDC damage because it's magical. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty potent then.
Yeah. But when the game first came out, it was still supposed to be considered rare, and the easy way to think about it is like MDC damage is like for a tank. Like if a tank's driving down our street and I go outside with a 22 caliber handgun, I'm not going to do any real damage to that thing.
Yeah, you can shoot it as many times as you want. It
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
Or I could go up and punch it 1 billion times and I will never break through that armor of that tank. So that's why they differentiate MDC from SDC.
Okay, so that makes sense then. At least there's like a method to their madness type of situation.
Right. But as the 200, 300 other books have come out since, it's always been up in the power level. Like SDC weapons are a thing of the pre-apocalyptic times. It's like our current time are all SDC. Anything created post-apocalypse or close to the apocalypse was all MDC.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
yeah. That's part of what caused the apocalypse.
People being irresponsible.
You know it. So anyways, it's a cool... The game conceptually is really cool. And so I'm excited to run it.
But just in practice, there's a couple things that you might modify.
Yep, I'm definitely going to modify. So I've got ideas for how the different encounters already. I already know what I'm going to do roughly. And here it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm making 7 characters. Maybe I'll make them on stream or something, since I'm going to be making them anyway. Maybe I will do a Sunday stream as I do that, just to be like, yeah, I'm making Rifts characters.
Tell Victor.
I will.
Isn't that his thing?
He loves Palladium books, yeah. He actually, it sounds like he likes Heroes Unlimited a lot. That's his go-to, which obviously was mine for the longest. Melchior says, about the dog boy thing, I can say that involves a neglected boy who gets someone to care for him after a relative intervenes. It happens in an Asian country. Oh, okay.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I don't know. Melchior says, in short, the relative pays a lot for the boy to go into a boarding school, and the head teacher manages to get the boy sorted out. And he said, real life can sometimes be far more interesting than fantasy. Maybe that's one of the reasons we have fantasy. I actually think fantasy is more interesting. I would much rather watch Lord of the Rings than a drama about people in current day society. I wish we had more good fantasy movies, personally.
I mean, I think there are a lot. Recently, whenever I wanted to
Most
watch a
aren't good, though.
movie, you're just like, oh, I don't want to watch that.
When are we going to watch a movie?
No, I'm saying the last couple times we had a chance to watch a movie over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, I was doing a bunch of stuff though, didn't I? Didn't I come out here a lot?
No, we were watching movies.
It's 10:10. What do you think? How are you coming along on that? Do you want to go a little longer, or do you want to end?
We should probably wrap it up.
Okay. So yeah, no, but I really do prefer fantasy. I know they're trying to make a new D&D movie, a supposedly better one.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the last two were super cheesy.
I liked those more than the first one.
Absolutely be
D&D adventure,
adventures.
Right.
It could happen.
So I don't hate the D&D movies that have come out personally. I don't remember the one with the Wayans or whatever that well. Do you own that one?
The one with the what?
The Wayne brothers.
Oh,
about
yeah.
the two rogues in the party or something like that.
Yeah, I think we have that.
Do we? I want to watch that. I don't remember hating it like everybody else. I know it wasn't a good movie. I don't even pretend. It's just
really cheesy.
I know
but
it is.
if you can get past that,
I don't care.
Actually pretty good.
But I want a good movie. And again, it's hard to make a 2-hour movie about a D&D game or the game of D&D that is going to resonate with the fan. How would you write that? You're going to have the party established ahead of time, I feel like.
No, you don't have to.
Then you're going to waste 30 minutes of the movie bringing the party together.
No, yeah, that's okay. That's part of the story.
It could be.
That's part of the story and how it happens.
Okay.
How do you get together?
So here's the question. Are you going to go with the cliche thing?
This is not wrapping up. Let's look at some
other
miniatures.
I'm wrapping up.
That one dries.
So is this going, if you did it,
Her face is a little
would you
messy.
start with the cliche of the tavern then?
No.
So what would you, I know you don't have to. I'm asking you, Paula, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a movie writer.
But what would you want to see? If I feel like if you wanted to represent D&D, you should probably go with the trope. Because again, you're going to have people watching it that aren't D&D fans, and you want them to understand what D&D is kind of.
I mean, maybe.
Through the movie, right? What is a D&D adventure? But here's the thing. So you bring the party together, usually in a D&D session, that's a first level party. They're not fighting large things. It's going to lose its epicness like that.
Yeah, but maybe it's not a first level party. It can be a 5th level party or a 7th level party or whatever.
I get that.
What was I supposed to do with these guys?
So Melchior. So here's how if I had the rights to do an official D&D movie, I would go into it with the Avengers movies in mind. Where you have an individual character, like Dungeons and Dragons, and I'd have the character's name or something, right? And I would, and here's
they all get their own movie, and then they come together as a group to become the ultimate fighting team.
To then take on somebody like Tiamat, like an iconic monster. But here's the thing. Here's where I think Paizo kicks D&D's butt. Dungeons and Dragons does not have iconic characters. And what I mean by that is that if I were to say name a fighter you think of, name-wise, in D&D, who do you think of?
Well, there isn't one. That's
Dritz?
the point. There doesn't
you
have
could
to
use
be
Dritz,
one.
but there's already stories about him. You're
Yeah,
going to have to resort to the novels. Most people, including even D&D players, don't even know the novels. Whereas Pathfinder...
Well, that's because they're not hardcore D&D
I know.
fans, first off.
Well, yeah, but
Let's
I'm a
talk
hardcore
about
D&D fan, and
that.
I don't read all the books.
Yeah, but that's a you problem.
So here's
like,
the...
you got problems,
Sure, but that's
man.
the point is you're trying to cater to everybody. The reason the Marvel ones were so good and you could do it is because everybody knows who Iron Man is. Even non-comic book readers. Everybody knows who Captain America is. Whether you've ever read a comic book or not. That's why those were so successful. But here's what I would do. Scratch D&D. Screw that. Throw that out. Let's go to Paizo. One, let's inquire them about the Pathfinder
I thought
IP.
we were supposed to be wrapping
We
up.
are. We are.
You're talking about a whole movie
Stop.
idea?
Yeah, but it's real simple. So I would go to Paizo and say, hey, I'm a director. I know you make games like D&D. I think you're onto something with your iconics. Let's do a series of movies. Your iconic fighter, Valeros. Your iconic barbarian. I can't think of her name anymore.
I couldn't name any of those characters, though.
Right, you can't. I can. Most
Yeah,
people who
but-
play Pathfinder can.
Yeah, but
They come up in a
D&D
lot of the
players
modules.
can't,
It's the same.
which
Yeah,
is
but
more mainstream.
But if I pull out the miniatures, you're going to recognize them. You're going to say, oh, yeah, that's the barbarian. Oh, yeah, that was the wizard from the game. Like, they're, you know.
I never would have known those were iconic characters if it weren't for you.
You haven't played a lot of Pathfinder, though. You've played 7 total sessions ever? 8, maybe? You know? That'll change. You're going to learn them. I'm sure over time. But either way, the point is I would totally do that. I would go to Paizo, say, hey, I want to make a movie about Amiri, I think is her name. She's the barbarian. Valeros. Like, give them all their own movie. And maybe you include other iconics in those movies, but they're not the main character. And then create the party you want for the ultimate Pathfinder movie and have them go up against, like, a Jabberwock, which is like a big monster in their game. Or have them go up against some of the iconic enemies. Hell,
Okay,
you could even...
See, I knew what a Jabberwock was, but I didn't know what...
Sure. Or you could do one of the modules, like Rise of the Rune Lords, and have that unfold actually through all of their individual things, but then have them come together for, like, the ending of it. I would totally do something like that. And one, you're going to get the diehard fans, obviously. They're going to spread it by name, be like, oh, it's just like Lord of the Rings, or it's just like this, you'll love it. And if it's shot well, with a good studio, not Sony or Fox or whatever, like a good studio, I think you're going to find that it would be a good movie with the right people in charge of it. And it would,
Well,
it would do really well. Yeah, but it would
people.
blow out. Yeah, but D&D was done in good studios with good actors. Like, and it was terrible if you talk to most D&D fans. Most movie fans think the D&D movie sucked.
Well,
So, I'm going to do a whole video on this, I think, at this point, because I'm excited. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up there. But I'll read a couple of the comments and then we'll get off here. Fantasy is escapism to some extent. We like it because it's not the same as real life. Putting too much real life stuff into fantasy makes the fantasy unattractive. Agree. 100 minutes, it says below. Yep. Melchior, that sounds like an idea for a series of movies. Yep. Or for a series. Yep. Talking about the Avengers thing. Melchior says maybe one episode for each of the characters where we see how they get to the point of meeting each other.
yeah,
Maybe.
that's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, or you add, just like in the Avengers, the stuff after the
But
credits.
I'm a bigger fan of Peter's idea down there.
Yep, I'll get there. Then an
Keep
episode
moving
or
down.
two
Move
of
down.
them
Move
starting to bond. Yeah, you could do that. Then the main adventure starts. And the last thing Peter says, the movie would start with an obvious plot, and in the first 10 minutes, the players go all murder hobo and burn the town down. Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
So, I would actually enjoy a Quentin
Quentin
Tarantino D&D game.
That would be
because you could also get away with doing a TPK.
That would be great.
And the TPK would really resonate for me.
The TPK resonates for you as
a dungeon master.
As a D&D thing.
Heck yeah, you got to do it. And then right before the credits, you do this like stamp on the screen. It's like psh, TPK, and then it turns to blood red. The background turns black, and then from the letters, blood oozes down the screen.
Oh my God.
Yes, TPK right there. All right, guys, gonna wrap it there. But thank you for watching. And
we'll finish this guy.
She thinks she'll finish this guy in 1 week. We'll see.
I will, absolutely.
We will see. Tomorrow, Pulp Cthulhu, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. until 11:30, I think is what we decided. So
And if you missed the first one, you can go back and watch it.
you should go back and watch
And
it.
it was wild. So
It was completely
saying.
off the rails, uncharted, unadulterated, rated R/mature audiences.
questionable.
Not safe for work.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Not safe for
currently.
children. Not family friendly. Go watch it. That's it, guys. This is Master Game of Juice. This is Paulette. Game on.